boom, 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 doom, 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 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Usually what I do is come in here, try to clean my stuff up. I like to record without a set velocity. Oh shit. I like to record without a set velocity because sometimes it just turns out better. Like it feels, it's a lot more natural, first of all. And I meant to join that. And then second of all, like sometimes I just like it to be natural. And so if I set everything at the same velocity, then I can't get these quieter notes or louder notes sometimes, and it just feels too stuffy. Anyways, let's get back into this. Same thing with quantization. I like to leave that. Sometimes it's natural because I'm doing something a little more. See little licks like that. You can't really quantize that without without losing everything that you got. You know what? I want this to be even. I was a little too intense there. Just a quick tip here. A lot of people, I feel like, they get so wrapped up in having the whole beat laid out, all 100 bars or whatever. Just like what I like to do is I just start from the beginning and I'll have like 8 bars or so. And I just like to build that and pretty much get to the climax moment. Like, what is the biggest part of the song going to sound like? And then from there, I'll start to paste out what the beat will look like. And then I can subtract. Every once in a while, I'll add after I start getting the form of the beat going. But pretty much I like to start producing and just go right to the hardest part of the song. What's that gonna sound like? Hey. Hey. I like that. I want to throw some kind of strings in there. I've been digging these Celtic flute and strings. Shits are dope. Hey, check it out. Nah. So, kind of like that. Let me check a couple real quick. No, I need something with a good attack. Too distorted for me right now. Come on. Nah, not really digging that. That's pretty dope. I don't know if I like it. See what that would sound like. No, I like these Celtic flute and strings better. Ooh, that's just so unique. Listen to that. Alright, yeah, I like that. Alright, that wasn't. See, like, now this is something that I might leave um, with these little. With the velocities different. Let's get a feel for it. Alright. I don't like those step notes. I thought I was going to. I like that one. Okay. Okay. I like that one. I just didn't like the other. That was a little too circusy. Okay. Um, a little tip here. If the names of your. Like, you don't have to keep what they have, obviously. Um, what I'll do a lot of times is just go through, clean it up so it's not so crazy. Say you want to name, the actual region you want it to match what the tracks are. You can do that all in one fell swoop. Just hit Control A. Excuse me, I'm on a Mac here. Command A. Right click, name and color, and name regions by tracks. Boom. What that does is just copy whatever track name is. Okay, now we're going to get to the fun part. Let me turn off these buses. Start putting some claps, snaps, snares, all that good stuff. What you really came for. Alright. Ooh, okay. Alright, let's record that. Almost always, I like my drums to be consistent velocities. That's usually not something you want to differ. I mean, I say you usually don't, and then I'll probably do it in this beat. I do like to separate out the sounds though for just like even like what I call them are like filler snares. Um, like this, I'll keep the snare and the clap together there because that's a sound, in itself. It's not like I'm keeping them separated, but I do want to make this its own track. So what I'll do is I'll just copy the track, paste that region in. I just cut it from this region, pasted it here. And change the name, come down here, rename it, boom. This way I can isolate it if I want it to be a little bit quieter. Okay. One of my favorite parts, the hi-hat. Okay. That one went in a little sloppy. We obviously got to quantize that. Had some 30-second notes in there, you'll see. I'm going to scratch that and just start. I don't like the recording being that sloppy. We're gonna start that over. Here we go. Okay, that was a bit cleaner. I feel like I actually did it myself there instead of just programming it. Very rarely do I program drums or any kind of instrument unless it calls for it. Like some of these really high or really fast hi-hats, the ones that are like... Usually, I mean, you got to program that. It's a little hard for me to go that fast, but at least for the main hi-hat. Hey. Hey. Digga, 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 digga. Hey. Hey, that's hot. Okay. This when the beat really gets dope, start getting that kick in there. With the kick, I just kind of do my own thing with that. Like, I need those to be 16th notes. I don't want to always do the same, just boom, 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 boom pattern. Sometimes that's what the beat calls for. I usually just try to, like, whatever I'm feeling, though, I'll lay down. We're not going to do anything that crazy, but... Alright, just getting a feel for the 808 here. I like my 808s to stay really clean. Some producers have 808s that aren't even in the same key as their beats. If your 808s aren't slamming, and if they're not following the same type of bass pattern, it's going to sound muddy and trash, in my opinion. Alright, let's do something like that. Okay, see, I'm trying to do that leading B to C there. And it's getting a little too muddy in here. So I'm probably going to change that one. Let me listen again. Yeah, that's a little too low and muddy. What did I came? I came from a G. I could do maybe a G, D, C. Let's try D. Yeah, that's a bit better. Just gotta mix that down so it's not too crazy in the mix. Alright. So, this isn't obviously done yet, but now what I like to do is like, what does that beat sound when it, what does it sound like when it drops? You know, like, that's where it's all at, is the drop. Let's do a little normal build. Hey, I love that mallet. That didn't really hit too hard, did it? Alright, it needs a little more energy. So the basic drums are done. I might add some more to it or whatever. But at least the rhythm's there. But I feel, man, it needs some bounce. Just something up top. Ba-ba-doo. Something. I don't know. Well, not that. That might. Sorry, sometimes I get a little distracted. That might not sound bad with a little bit of extra reverb. Not quite that much. If I like... Alright, I'm not feeling that. That sounds cheesy. Nope. Oh, that's pretty dope. See that delay it has, though? That makes it just a tad bit harder to solo with, but man, just that pinging delay, it allows it, gives it so much more energy. A little back and forth. Something like that. There we go. We'll leave that one. What is that? Rock lead. I have some pretty decent sounding guitars actually. But sometimes that's not what you want. You don't want an actual guitar sound. Alright, let's listen to the build again. Definitely gonna have to take care of that delay there. I'm gonna drop the 808 here. Yeah, see, that's the delay keeps going and it gets off beat, which we cannot have. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to, let me open this up a little for you guys. I'm going to add some automation here to the volume. And basically what's going to happen is I'll take it out to there. Right after this instrument's done playing, I'm going to shut it down. So you remember what it sounded like before. Now it's just enough cut off to sound like it was stopping. Nice thing about Logic, you can copy this and it'll actually copy the automation. So now I can go back, paste it, and I just got to get, let me add, I'm all like, I can just paste it and look like a fool. If I had done it first up here, it would have pasted correctly, but no worries. Okay, so now if I pasted it again, okay, but that saves you some time. So I like, sometimes I'll create a region with automation, whether it be like the high pass filter, low pass filter, changing volume, sustain, whatever. Make a region and then use that one later. Don't go through and do it by hand on every single region if it's not changing. There's no reason to do that. If it's changing and you're trying to make it unique, then yeah, go for it, but save yourself some time. Okay. All right, all right. All right, maybe I'm going to add one of my decent guitars. If you guys haven't checked out East West, their sound library is prolific. It's pretty crazy. I love East West. It's pretty intense though. You need quite a bit of hard drive space just to run the Play engine, but it is worth it for me. All right, let me look at some guitars here. Load up this Les Paul. Obviously, just by itself, it's not really fooling anyone. I'm gonna widen that a little with this stereo double. All right, and kind of what I just wanted to do is squeal a bit up at the top, just to add some, I don't know, add that something. Just something simple. And you know, I want to put some reverb on that, and so I could do it in here, but I think I'm going to use one of Logic's built-in reverbs, Space Designer. Crank this down, it's going to be way too high. Let me solo it and listen to that. Now, I kind of want it like pretty distant. That's pretty good. Let's see what that sounds like. I'm going to add a little bit more. Don't forget to pan some of your tracks, guys. Usually I like to do this. Um, Two reasons. One, it's too stale if everything's in the middle. Secondly, you need to leave some room for the artist who's going to put their vocals on the track. If everything is right up the middle, man, they're all going to be fighting for space. Um, Usually, a lot of my drums I'll like to keep up the middle. Sometimes I'll throw the hi hats, especially if I have two hi hats. Sometimes I'll hard pan them left and the other one right, or at least pretty exaggerated. Um, but this is actually a pretty slick way of opening some space up on a track, even something like a snare. Like my kicks and my 808s, though, usually, like, I don't think I've ever panned my kick or 808. Just have never artistically wanted to do that. But even your snare, you can pan that a bit, and the listener's never going to notice unless they have a really keen ear. But and even you, when you're listening, you might not notice that it's a little bit to the right. But I'm telling you, it creates that space for you guys. And also, like, another thing I'll do is as you'll see, I like to have some to the left, some to the right, especially when I have like these filler snares. Man, I'm telling you, that really like makes the track a lot more interesting. You know what I'm going to do? I think what I'm going to decide here is most of the time if I have this synth bass going, I don't want it to be fighting with this 808. And so when that synth is going, that bass, I'm not going to have the 808 in. Now during the chorus I might, because that's when it all slams together. Let's see what that sounds like when it transitions out. See how much cleaner that is? You gotta be careful of your low ends like that. And now it's, yeah, that's clean. Hey, 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 hey. We can even add some of those. Hey, 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 hey. We can do like we could do that, or find an empty spot here so we can do the sort of the Zaytiggy sound. Or I have like some DJ Mustard type stuff. So like a... That doesn't... I don't know. I don't think that would cut through enough. So it's either going to be that or that. Let's give them a little quick test. That's not bad. Let's see what the other one sounds like. Yeah, that's the clear winner there. We're going to do that. And I'm going to pan that one right, actually. Switched it up on you, decided to do both. Didn't know how it was going to sound, but then, man, that was dope, though. I like that. Alright, so now, you want to be a little sparing with this, too. If it's going through the whole track, it's going to kind of lose its it's excitement. So I want it to be on both of these regions. It's got to be in the chorus. So now I can copy all that. Okay. Now we're really ready to start with laying this beat out. So this is my first chorus and first verse. I'm just going to paste that down. So now we got our second chorus, second verse, third chorus, third verse, and we'll copy in a fourth chorus. And then a lot of times what I like to do is an extra chorus, not a full chorus. Like I'll do like just this half here. I got to shorten that up. Bring this back. And what I'll do is I'm going to take the snares out, all that, no kicks and drums. And I'm going to leave hi-hat in on the second half. So I'm going to bring the end of the project here up. I usually like to leave at least a full measure after for those sounds to end so it doesn't just cut off. And at this point, I'll also check how long the beat's looking. That's a little over 5 minutes. That's pretty long, but it gives them plenty of time. They can always cut, especially if they buy the stems. They can always chop it up and cut it down. You never really want to jip an artist on length. If anything, it's better to have too much than not enough, because they can handle too much, but they might, like a good producer or engineer can also handle not enough, but they might mess your stuff up, man. Like they might just like start it from the beginning, and who knows, like it could lose all of its pizzazz or something. Like you don't want that. So don't leave people hanging. I'm going to run this through real quick. See how I'm feeling about this drop now. You know what? I lied. I feel like what the drop is missing, what the chorus is missing, it's just simply like a cymbal crash. Something just to let them know, like, this is where it is. Man, that guitar annoys me doing that. But it adds a good texture. That's something I look for a lot when I'm trying to do my beats. This texture. Sometimes you can't really hear everything that well, but you can feel it. Okay, so the layout of this beat is going to go through this. So this whole section right here is going to be an intro. And then it's going to pop into either like one part of the chorus or half of it. And then it's going to jump right into a verse. So really it goes verse 1, chorus 1, verse 2, chorus 2. Anyways, let's give it a quick listen. Okay, one thing I noticed right away is that sound is way too loud compared to the A's. So I'm going to drop those down quite a bit. Let's see. Okay, shoot. Dropped it too much. Let's try 70. There we go. Alright, that's pretty dope. Producers, don't forget, get that watermark in there. You need that tag. Otherwise, people might steal your stuff, and also they need to know where that smoke is coming from. You know what I'm saying? Easy thing to do here. Turn on that flex timing, guys. It'll save you so much. This is how you get a beat sample that'll stay in time. So, like, you hear a lot of these producers out here, and you don't want just some stuff that's like, like mine is Rusty Glock killed the beat. I want that gun cocking sound effect, and like my cadence to be on beat. Otherwise, that's going to sound whack. Let me give this a test. Rusty Glock killed the bear. Hey. Yeah. That's a big part of your beat, guys. Trust me, when people are listening to it, if that stuff is coming in way off beat, man, you're going to ruin the whole vibe of a beat. So, and usually what I like to do is about every 30 seconds or so, get that tag in there. 1, it lets the listeners know who produced it. 2, helps people stop downloading, just like ripping the audio and cutting out just that intro. So I'll just do a quick check. Okay, that was about 30 seconds on the dot. So that's how I know. I can see that it's 8 measures apart. I'm just going to do that throughout the whole beat. Just like that, see? And if you want, you can copy the whole thing there. And we're getting pretty close, so I'm going to go back down to 2. And I guess we're going to have one last one there. It's always kind of special when it ends like that. Rusty Glock killed the bear. See them last 4 bars there? That's where that sound, you want to let that sound die out naturally. You don't want it to decay. Or you want it to decay, you don't want it to just cut off and sound all harsh. Last thing, you just want to make sure that even in the loudest parts of your beat, that you can hear the tag. So it looks like my tag here is actually in pretty quiet spots the whole time. Usually, like if it's in the chorus, I'll just do a spot check. So that's what I'm going to do anyways. Rusty Glock killed the bear. Also, you don't want it to be like way too loud. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I mean, I still got to do some, a little more mixing on it. Obviously, I want to maximize that sound. But let me just let this run through here, and then you guys can just give it a listen. Maybe some people will vibe to it. Take it easy. I'm going to let this beat play out. Rusty Glock killed the bear. Rusty Glock killed the bear. Rusty Glock killed the bear.
rusty Glock.